Hello all, welcome to TechClassRoom. Today we are going to learn about useEffect hook and we'll see how it works with a practical example. So let's get started. So what is useEffect? So useEffect hooks is one of the most commonly used hooks in React.js. So useEffect hook allows you to perform side effects in your functional components. Side effects can include things like data fetching, subscription, or manually changing the DOM. So useEffect helps you handle these side effects in a clean and efficient way. Here's a basic example of how to use useEffect. So we have our app component. So first we'll import use state as well as useEffect here. So first let us define a state here. Count set count equal to use state. Initial state would be 0. Now we'll use the useEffect hook. So basically, useEffect hook is used to perform, three types of lifecycle methods in React. So one is mounting, and the other is updating and unmounting. So all these three lifecycle methods would be carried out using useEffect. So let us see how to do that. First, let me write. Let me try to print component mounted or updated. So this will be printed once our component gets mounted. And let us also have the title of our document. All right. All right. So then we are using our return. So return is a cleanup function. So this actually, performs cleanup action. So when the component gets unmounted. So here we'll be printing cleanup. All right, so here we are printing component mounted or updated when the component gets mounted, and here we'll be printing cleanup when the component gets unmounted, and we'll see about the updation lifecycle method of a React. So for that we have this dependency array. So this is the dependency array. So the component gets updated based on the value that is mentioned here in the dependency array. Here I am giving count. So whenever the count changes, this component gets updated. So I'm just mentioning you clicked count times, then I'll give a button, click me, and we'll define an on click function. This will just increment the count value. Yes, so now let us see this in UI. All right. So if you could see this, the document title has been changed, and let us click this button and check. So initially, the initial value of that count value is 0. Now we'll see. So I'm clicking this. All right. So it means the count value gets updated so that the component mounts and the previous state gets cleaned up. I'm clicking it again. So it says component mounted or updated. So this is a basic example of a use effect hook, and going forward, we'll see uh, a brief example where we are going to perform side effects like performing data from an API using use effect hook. Yes, so this is a working example of use effect. Here we have used use effect hook to fetch data from a JSON placeholder API endpoint, and here we are using use state hooks as well. So let me explain how we are achieving this. So first, we are defining two states here. One is data, another is loading, and we are using use effect hook. We have used a function called fetch data to fetch the data from this JSON placeholder. And initially, so we are setting the loading to true. So we are setting the state loading to true. It means the data is being fetched. So there might be some, it will take some time to fetch data. So in that meantime, we'll be displaying something in that the loading duration. So for that, we are setting the state to true here, and then we are trying to fetch the data. So once we fetch the data, we are setting the state data, and then we are handling the error. So catch error, and finally, once we fetched the data, so finally we are setting loading to false, and now we are calling the fetch data function here. And here, if you could see this dependency array, so it is an empty dependency array. It means that so this operation, I mean this entire operation will take place only once when the component gets mounted. So that is what this empty dependency array states. And now we are returning the post from the API, and if it is loading, it will be displayed. I mean, the loading, this element will be displayed. Once the loading is, if it is not loading, so it will get the data and map it, and we are going to show the post dot title in a list format. So that is what it will be happening here. So now let us go and check the UI. Yes, so as I told, we have used a use effect hook, and we have fetched the data from an API, and we have displayed that in a list. So fetching of data from an API is one of the side effects that a use effect could perform. And yeah, so these are the basic examples of use effect, and this is how use effect works. So let us see what is cleanup in use effect. So we have seen the component mounting phase and also the updating phase, and we'll see unmounting phase. So that is a cleanup in use effect hook. So cleanup function in use effects are used to clean up side effects. So this is useful for things like subscriptions or timers. So let us see how to do this in our code. Here I have already imported a use effect and use state hook here. So here I'm going to define a state count set count equal to use state. Initial value would be 0. Then I'll define the use effect. So here I'll define a variable const timer equal to set interval. So I'm going to set the count. So we are going to increment the count by 1 for every 1 second. And here I'm going to use the cleanup function here, clear interval timer. So actually, this cleanup function, I'll just explain how it works. So whenever the component gets mounted, so this function will be executed. Means so the count value gets incremented by 1, and whenever the component gets unmounted, so this function will be executed. It means it will clear the interval. So it means the counter will get reset and it will start from the first. So the initial value would be 0. So as soon as the component gets mounted, the count value gets keep on increasing for every 1 second. And once we refresh or the component gets unmounted, so this timer will get reset and it will again start from 0. So now we'll display that in our UI. So we are going to display the count here. All right, so let us see the UI now. Yeah. So as I told, see this gets keep on incremented automatically for each and every second. So I'll just try to refresh the page now. Yes. So the timer gets reset and it started from the first. So it is keep on incrementing by 1 for each and every second. See, 11, 12. So this is how it works actually. So if you want, I can again refresh this page and I'll just explain you. So I'm refreshing the page, so the timer gets 0. So it means the cleanup function gets executed each and every moment when we click that refresh button. All right, so this is all about use effect hook in React.js. So if you found this video helpful, so please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Tech Classroom channel. Thank you.